Alright guys, it's me, TheBladeGamer. Now it's time for us to talk about, well, me to talk about, E3, Nintendo's conference. Like I said in the Microsoft video, I am not going to be doing anything on the third-party developers. The reason why I'm saying this more than once is because some people will not watch the other ones because they already know everyone else's opinions, all yada yada yada. So, I'm not going to be doing third-party conferences such as EA and Ubisoft, even though the Assassin's Creed trailer looks pretty good. So yeah, alright, now Nintendo. Nintendo is being uploaded second because obviously they were the second big conference. My reaction is amazing, just simply amazing. Nintendo has won E3 2 years in a row. I haven't been following E3 past last year, so I don't know really how it was in 2007, or no, 2008, 2007, all that stuff. Anyway, they announced pretty huge titles, okay? Alright, let's start first. Zelda, the Skyward Sword. You've already seen my opinions about Skyward Sword with Blink and You Miss It. If you haven't subscribed to him, you better. About Skyward Sword. There were some demo problems when they were demoing the game. Because the Wii uses Bluetooth technology, it is short range. So if Miyamoto was slightly off from the sensor bar or too far away, it could have caused problems. And on top of that, with cell phone devices now using Bluetooth a lot, there were some wireless problems which caused, failure, particularly during the bow and arrow demonstration of the demo. So for those of you who say it's not going to work, they showed it on the game floor, and everyone that's has a good legitimate opinion has said it's worked fantastic. The game looks fantastic. The artwork is about a style between Twilight Princess models with Wind Waker kind of cartoony feels to it. It looks really interesting. It's about how the Skyward Sword turns into the Master Sword. So we'll finally know how the Master Sword came into existence, and it will possibly tie all the stories together, or at least the beginning stories together. So it's looking to be very fantastic. After this point, I really don't know what the exact order was, so just bear with me. They announced Just Dance 2. I've never played the first one, haven't even looked up a review for it, so if that one's good, I'm sure the second one will be too. They announced Mario Sports Mix. That looks really good because although I'm not a huge fan of sports games, the Mario games for sports are fantastic every single time. They do not make you disappointed on it. Obviously, it's over the top, and they do stuff that real life could never do, such as using shells and stuff to destroy your enemies, but they are great games. This time you can do volleyball, basketball, hockey, and dodgeball. Those were the ones they showed. Looks pretty fun. I'm probably not going to get it until it's like severely decreased in price, but yeah. Then they announced Wii Party. It basically looks like Mario Party. I guess that's pretty interesting. It does look the board design looks a little bit more in depth than Mario Party, surprisingly, but if it'll be good, I really don't know. Alright, next we'll do some big hitters. Epic Mickey, it looks fantastic. Really it does. So, yeah. I don't really have that many opinions on the game. I haven't gotten a chance to play it. I mean, it looks good, but it just doesn't look like the type of game that I want to play. They also announced a new NBA Jam arcade-style basketball game exclusively for the Wii. So if you like the arcade basketball games, that's good for you. Kirby's Epic Yarn. Now, when they announced the return of Kirby on the home consoles, I was ecstatic. Kirby is one of my favorite franchises, yet even the developers themselves make the games very underappreciated, such as creating nothing but spin-off games recently, almost ever since Kirby Air Ride. And Kirby Air Ride itself was a spin-off game as far as concept goes. So, I mean, at first I was very hesitant, but it looks really fun. I just hope that the next home console Kirby game they do isn't going to be a spin-off type game. I want to be able to suck up enemies and control their powers. If you want to combine powers, I would like to do that, but if Nintendo doesn't choose to do that, if they make a game like that, I'll be perfectly happy. I just want a Kirby game with the traditional style of gameplay that you saw in Kirby on the NES and SNES and the Kirby 64 game. You see it in other games such as Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland, but obviously that game was incredibly short. Alright, so that's enough on Kirby. Donkey Kong Country Returns. Now, I'm more in favor of the 3D Donkey Kong games. I know that Donkey Kong started out 2D, at least when it came to his own and signature games. And when I did play them, I didn't like them as much as the 3D one. But then again, Rareware was bought out by Microsoft, which sucks because they made good games for Nintendo, but not under Microsoft. So, that may be why it's not 3D. It's Retro Studios games, the same people that made Metroid Prime, so you know it's going to be good. They had a game, some people were thinking it was Metroid Prime. I was hoping it would be Star Fox, but it turned out to be Donkey Kong. If Nintendo doesn't have a Star Fox game next E3, I'm going to be very disappointed with them, because they have neglected that series way more than they have games such as Kirby. GoldenEye 007 for the Wii, exclusively on the Wii. Now, everyone knows that GoldenEye 007 was the grandfather of all modern FPSs. If you like FPSs such as Halo, Call of Duty, things like that, maybe even third-party ones such as Resident Evil and Gears of War, you owe it to GoldenEye 007 that was on the Nintendo 64. It looks fantastic. They say it is based off of the movie GoldenEye, though. So if you're looking for like a remake of the Nintendo 64 game, which I believe wasn't based off of the GoldenEye movie, then you're going to be a bit disappointed as far as the campaign goes, but it looks very solid as a game. Then the 3DS. Now the 3DS looks amazing to me. They say that it is every bit as good as what Nintendo says it is. Everyone knew that it would not be, Avatar-like 3D. That would just be crazy if Nintendo could accomplish that in just their first generation of 3D consoles. But since it's a handheld, it works. My favorite part is the 3D slider. You can adjust it to any level you want. You can have full 3D, no 3D, or in between, so you can adjust it to your eye type and eyesight, whatever works best for you. That is amazing. I mean, on 3D TVs you can turn off the 3D, but you can't adjust it to the perfect balance like you can on the 3DS. The slide pad, which now offers developers a lot more, and maybe you'll see more hardcore games on there, it just looks amazing. Now for a lineup, for the launch, this is how you do a launch. You do not launch games like Kinect to Microsoft. You launch games like Nintendo is for their 3DS. They've already confirmed a remake of Ocarina of Time, a remake of Star Fox 64, an Animal Crossing game for the 3DS, whether it'll be a remake of Wild World, which I doubt, or the GameCube game, which would be more likely. It still looks fun. I love Animal Crossing, but that's just me. Paper Mario. I don't know if it'll be a remake from the Nintendo 64. Mario Kart. Metal Gear. Oh gosh, hiccups. Metal Gear Solid. Resident Evil. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Huge developers. If you can't tell, this is going to be amazing. And then they finally released the biggest surprise of all at E3. Kid Icarus Uprising. There has not been a single Kid Icarus game since the one on the NES. It looks fantastic. Everyone should have seen it coming because Pit was put into Super Smash Bros. Brawl over Geno, even though Geno won the poll when they asked who they wanted to win. So now we get a Kid Icarus game. It looks amazing. So that wraps up Nintendo's conference, and now it's the verdict. They did amazing. They did just about as good as last year, except last year they announced their biggest franchises instead, which was they announced Zelda and then Mario and then Metroid last year, and now they're announcing all their secondary franchises, which is good. I'd have to give Nintendo a 4.5 out of 5 stars. They're just doing spectacular. Anyway, I'm out of time now, guys. This is TheBladeGamer. See you next time.